Alright, welcome to part 20 of Frodo's journey. You'll see we're not actually with Frodo at the moment, because, or a hobbit, because unfortunately the next couple of stages of this journey, in fact the last stages of this journey, are too high a level for the character that I have as a hobbit, so we'll just disappear into this character's head. We'll get rid of these rounds, although we'll have to put all that back on again when we get into some action, because this character isn't high enough level to swan through anything without being attacked. Anyway, here we are in Henneth Annun, the hideout of the Rangers of Ithilien, and over there you can see that it's nighttime outside. There's the waterfall, and we're going to be travelling during the night again. But I did take a little bit of video earlier just at dusk. I managed to catch dusk in here and see the light show coming through the waterfall, so I'm going to hopefully paste a bit of that in, and I might put it in about now. And hopefully everybody enjoyed that. So we're going to head out of Henneth Annun. We're going to try and get to the crossroads in this video. It might take a little bit of time. I'm just going to set my timer to see how long this is going to take. I've got a Stream Deck, so I'm just managed to put a few functions on it. I buy all these things and I never use them. It's crazy. Anyway, we're going to head down through Ithilien. It's going to be nighttime. It's going to be pretty. I need to tell you that this video will contain spoilers regarding Lord of the Rings, the book, and probably Lord of the Rings, the movie. So if you don't want any spoilers, please read the book. The book, there's a link to the book down in my description, so go and buy one of those. And or go and watch the movies. But preferably the book. Read the book first. If you haven't done either, read the book first. Then watch the movies. Here we are coming out into the lovely land of Ithilien. Now, in this particular case, the hobbits have been informed by Faramir that his scouts have been out and there's no enemy moving around in Ithilien at all. Sauron has withdrawn his forces into Mordor, and everything's quiet, so the hobbits are quite safe to walk all the way down the road to the crossroads, which is where they are going to try and enter Mordor via a mountainous path by near Minas Morgul, or Old Minas Ithil, the Tower of the Moon, which of course has been taken over by Sauron. And there's a few confusions around that sort of thing in the story. Some of the things aren't a lot clear, so it's useful to get a little bit of clarity with this video. But anyway, this is going to take us a little while to walk all the way down here. We're just going to follow the road, because there were no enemies about, and the hobbits would have been able to follow the road with Gollum leading. He would probably have been bouncing along in the in the shrubbery. But it's a very beautiful part of the world, this. As you can see, there's lovely waterfalls. There's Pleiades up there. There are flowers. It doesn't look great at night, I suppose. As good at night as it would during the day. I've kind of worked out the timings in Lotro. Nighttime lasts for about an hour and a half, and daytime lasts for about an hour and 40 minutes. So about a little bit over a 3 hour cycle, and there's so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, so what I've done is I've gone away from 4K. I don't think my video card's up to it. Someday I might be able to afford a new one. But I have figured out how to record in a slightly higher definition. The 1440 definition, which is, I think some people call it 2K. It doesn't actually come up as 4K video anymore, but it should, with any luck, mix down in YouTube to a slightly better resolved video than we've had before. So you can let me know what you think. I've been mucking around with the settings quite a lot in the last few days. Things are confusing because I've got quite a wide monitor, which doesn't actually fit any of the, the pixel dimensions on my monitor. Don't match the pixel dimensions that YouTube likes for its videos. So as a result, I've had to resize my monitor screen. So I'm looking at a window. Well, not a window, but a monitor size that's actually got 2 black bars down either side. But that gets me to the 2560 by 1440 resolution, which I can then film at full screen, and that makes everything a lot easier. And my theory is that this will work nicely for the videos as well, because when YouTube gets the video, it seems to downsample everything you send it, even if you send it a video that's perfect for not downsampling and perfect for them to show. But there you go, that's what they do. It seems to downsample whatever is put up there, so I guess we're going to see. So I've turned on quite a lot of the frills, because this is a nice part of the world, and I thought the frills would be nice. The frills are all this grassy stuff. If you don't have the frills on Lord of the Rings, you get Lord of the Rings Online, you just get bare kind of green polygons along here, but you know, multi-polygons. The polygons are all small nowadays, and in these textures, I think they call them nowadays. So you just get green textures along here, and you've got the road texture, you've got the hillside texture. But with the frills, we get these kind of, they're almost like sprites. Not quite sprites. There are sprites in this game. They still, it's such an old game that they still found a use for sprites here and there. But we're going to walk down here. So what should we talk about on this journey? I suppose we might as well get it out of the way and talk about the elephant in the room. The election results of the United States of America. And our friend, your friend and mine, Mr. Donald Trump, who's going to make America great again, has won. He's not in yet, of course, because Joe Biden's still hanging on. I think the transition, is it they call it? It takes place in January or something. So there's a bit of time yet. But I don't know. What does everybody think about that? I look at Donald Trump and I see there's no harm in advertising him now, because he's got all the votes he needs. Maybe. I look at Donald Trump and I see an egomaniac. Someone who's only really interested in himself and his own grandeur and his own power. But maybe that's not right. But he looks like that kind of man to me, and that kind of man becoming president of the United States seems to me to be a bit of a worry. But anyway, he's certainly going to make some changes. He's got a lot of policies that are quite popular with the run-of-the-mill American, i.e. the not very well educated American. I looked at some of the stats, and it seems that the educated Americans are all voting the other way. So the not very well educated American, and we could get onto the whole business of education and politics and elections and democracy another time. That's an interesting topic. But in general, I hate being kind of very topical in these videos, because I don't want people to watch them and think that I'm talking about something that happened ages ago. But in this case, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next 5 years, because I know that Trump has a whole lot of policies and he wants to change a lot of things in America, and he's talking about change, and that sort of waves a red flag to me, because while he might do some changes that are popular, and he's a very populist kind of politician, he may also just stop here and have a look around. Look at this lovely night sky, the trees. He also, it seems to me, none of the things he's told us so far, I think he has not yet told us his absolute priority policy, which of course he can't tell us, because he would never have been elected, I think. But I think his absolute priority is going to be trying to figure out some way of making sure he can stand for election again or get another term, a third term, because in America, you might not know this if you're not an American or not a great watcher of American policy, but American presidents are only allowed 2 terms, so after the second term they have to step down. Now, Trump threw such a wobbly the last time he wasn't elected. I'm wondering whether well, actually, from that behavior, I'm absolutely certain, I think, that he is going to, if he can, he is going to try and manipulate things in order to figure out a way of getting himself to remain in power for a longer period of time than 2 terms. Anyway, maybe not. He'll not be telling anybody this, of course, and he'll not have said it to anybody because that would be political suicide. But now that he's president, you could imagine, well, let's imagine any situation where the standing president could put off the elections for a few years, and you end up thinking, well, we're starting to run into some orcs here. That's bad, because there aren't very many situations that are good for anybody where a standing president will be able to continue the presidency and put off the elections. And in fact, that's only happened really once in a major democracy, and that's and eventually the elections were cancelled. And that was in Germany in 1933. But it seems to me that he's that kind of man. The occasion may not arise, but I think if he can manipulate things so that he is able to stay in power for a while longer, I think, and this is only my opinion, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but I think he will take that chance, seize it with both hands. And the question is he going to put a lot of us in danger in order to create that situation? Anyway, enough of him. We've now arrived at the crossroads. So if we look down here, we can see Osgiliath. Now remember, in the game in Lotro by now, the war has been won. There's Osgiliath over there. In the game at this point, in the story, the war has been won, and the hobbits get to the crossroads, and they find the head of the statue. Here it is. Here's the head of the statue. Lying on the ground next to the statue at the crossroads. And you see that since the end of the war, they've put up a few ladders. I think we might even be able to go up here. Can we get up the ladder? Let's have a look. The hobbits didn't do this, but let's see. Woohoo! We're up, are we? Let's see is there another ladder? Doesn't seem to go any higher, and I can't really see very much. So seems like a good idea to get up here and have a good look around, but I don't think we can. There we go, down again. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to head into Mordor. So, the way Gondor was set up, I've done a little bit of history reading. The way Gondor was set up by Isildur and Anorion and Elendil was 3 cities. They have Minas Tirith, Osgiliath on the river, Minas Tirith on the mountains on the far side of the river, Osgiliath on the river, and Minas Ithil was built on this side of the river, in the mountains here. And the rule of Minas Ithil was to keep an eye on Mordor. But as the strength of Gondor failed, Minas Ithil was lost to Gondor, and evil men, I suppose is the best way to describe them, moved in, and their 9 kings were given rings by Sauron, and they became the ring wraiths. So this became the capital city, or the main city of the ring wraiths. And it is a big city. I mean, if we look at it on the map, we will see. So I think that we're running along nicely to the point where we're going to be able to enter past the gates of, well, as I said, this is called Minas Ithil when it was founded, but after the Ringwraiths took it over, it became known as Minas Morgul. We have to do our rolling R's for any Tolkien word with an R in it, and then we ignore the rolling R's for everything else. Traditional, that is, in the movies and the TV show. But Minas Morgul. Oh, hang on. Got a glowing page. What does this say? I'm not going to hear it. Pick it up. Do we have to do this to hear it? Oh, I have to accept the quest. Okay. Lost lore of the Morgul Vale. Accept.
My Lady Velades, in time of darkness and doubt,
we're going to have
send
to have
thee
that
tidings of hope. The war wears on all, and many battles yet lie ahead.
That's very ominous. Okay, so that's Minas Morgul over there, or Minas Ithil of the old days. As you can see, it's very well. We haven't seen Minas Tirith yet in this journey, have we? So, but this is very similar in architecture to Minas Tirith because it was built at the same time by the same builders. But the hobbits aren't going that way. No way, Jose, because at the time the hobbits come, the Witch King of Angmar is in residence. And just as the hobbits pass up this slope here to the side, as led by Gollum, as they pass up this slope, an army marches out of Minas Morgul and makes its way towards Minas Tirith, Osgiliath and Minas Tirith, to lay siege to Minas Tirith. And the reason the army moves before Frodo has been captured, before Sauron has the ring, is because Sauron is afraid that Aragorn has the ring. So Aragorn uses the Palantir of Orthanc to communicate with Sauron and show himself to Sauron and show him the sword of Elendil. And anyway, the hobbits come here and they head up this is what they call the Straight Stair. So the first stair is a very straight stair, it goes straight up into the mountain. And from up here we'll be able to see a bit more. But I think we're going to draw this video to an end because I want to see how it goes, and that's about 17 minutes, I think, if my timer's working correctly. And yeah, so anyway, we talked about the elephant in the room. What did you think of the American election? Put some comments below. Actually, it might be best to steer clear of the topic in the comments. We might get banned for political speak. I don't know. Don't know how these things work on YouTube. Me accusing the President of the United States of wanting to break American law probably isn't the best idea in the world either. So I might end up censored here. I might have to take the video down and we might have to do it again. Anyway, let's hope not. I don't have too many things to worry about. I mean, I'm just making a prediction. It's just my opinion. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I just think that's the kind of personality that's been elected in America. And I think that, to be honest, I think in many ways nearly all politicians are that kind of personality. All they're interested in is their own selves. That's what we've bred with democracy. Politicians who are self-interested. These are the people who are prepared to fight to get the chance to win those popularity contests, and they're very hard to get along with. There's a little ranger camp here. Sorry about the coughing. I seem to have a frog in my throat. Little ranger camp here that's been set up after the war in order to deal with Minas, the trouble that's up here with spiders and things. And we're going to go up there in the next video, and we're going to have a look at Minas Morgul from the hillside. And we're going to continue our journey. From this point on, We might have to do some fighting. We will have to do some fighting. It's almost impossible to run up here without it crashing into a spider. So we have to fight them, and we're going to have to fight them on the way through the cave as well. But there you go. We got from Henneth Annun to a little bit past the crossroads, up the Straight Stair. We've managed to climb the Straight Stair. Let's go and have a look at the Straight Stair. We might leave ourselves at the top of it. God, my voice is awful tonight, isn't it? Sorry about that. Frog in the throat. There it is, the Straight Stair. All the way down there. So you can see all the way to the bottom. Whoop. Crazy, all the way straight down. And up here is the cloudy sky of the Morgul Vale. We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I mean, all those people have been with me. This is our 20th video. We've been at this for over 4 hours now, I think. So good job. Well done sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Good night.